This week's ingredient is Filo pastry. Filo pastry is a very thin pastry which is made from flour, water and a little bit of oil. And it has many different uses in many different cultures. In Turkey it's called yufka, in Morocco it's called wafer, and it's used for many different purposes in sweet and savory cooking. You might know it from spanakopita or baklava. And today I'm going to show you a sweet wafer made out of Filo. I have enough strength. Okay, so today we do a yogurt cream with apricots and a Filo wafer. I started brushing my Filo pastry already with some butter, sprinkled it with some sugar, cinnamon and salt, and now I'm just going to continue this for another couple of times. I keep my Filo pastry after I used it under a wet cloth, otherwise it will dry out. So just brushing this with butter, and it doesn't matter if it has a few little holes in the middle or on the sides. You can just brush this together, and if you layer the next sheet on top, it's just gonna cover it all up. Okay, sugar. Cinnamon. And then a little bit of salt, which intensifies the whole flavor a little bit. And then we're gonna put another sheet on top, and we just repeat exactly the same thing. So the final sheet we're going to brush with some egg white, just to give it a nice little crispy shine. And then we're also going to put some sugar on top, just to caramelize it on top a little bit. Okay, then we transfer it onto a baking sheet and we bake it at 160 degrees for about 18 to 25 minutes. Now, very careful. I mean, if you would have done it on a baking sheet straight away, you wouldn't have to do this. But that's fine. Okay, so while this is getting ready in the oven, we're going to start with the cream, because I like to get prepared. I start with my cardamom pods. I just crush them, take out the seeds, and just grind them with the pestle and mortar for a little bit. So we don't want to have it too small. We want it to be like sort of like freshly ground pepper. Okay, next stage, we're going to take a bowl. We have our cream, double cream or whipping cream. Then we have some vanilla extract. You can also use fresh vanilla. And also some sugar, caster sugar. And then we give it a good whisk. We don't want it to be too thick, but we want it to be like a sort of soft peak. Okay, so when we have whisked this to a soft peak, we're going to add our yogurt. And then as last, I'm going to add my freshly ground cardamom. And then I just give it a little fold. And that's it already. Perfect. Okay, so the Filo wafer is done. It's very nice and golden, a little bit on the darker side, but it's not too dark. We are now letting this to cool down, just on the side, and we are getting on with my favorite part, the apricots, the sticky apricots. Okay, caramel. We're going to take our sugar. We're going to take our honey. And the salt. and just bring it on medium-high heat to a boil for about 4 minutes. Okay, while this is getting ready, we're just gonna take a lemon and we're just gonna zest about 6 pieces off. And always try to make this as thin as possible to the skin. If you see this, if it's too white, that's the bitter part. So we don't want the bitter part. And then we take our other cardamom pods and we're just gonna give that a little crush as well. And then these ones are also ready to just flavor the caramel. So at this point I'm throwing in my lemons and my cardamom. And as I throw them in, I can start smelling all the lemon oil coming out of the lemon already, and the cardamom, the flavor is just coming out of the pot. It's really, really nice. And we also need to prep our apricots. We can do this either with a scissors or with a knife. We're just gonna cut some slices, all the soft dried apricots into 4 or 5 slices. Just like this. Okay, we got to a sort of amber color now. And now we're gonna add our water, orange blossom, and also our lemon juice. And we have to be very careful when we add this. The steam coming up is extremely hot. And then also the apricots. And this is it. And now we'll just let it to cool down, and then we can assemble our dessert. We have our cream here. At this point, if you think it's too thick, you can still add a little tiny bit of cream and just mix that under. But I'm quite happy with this consistency. Okay, so we take a spoon and we're just gonna spoon that into our little bowls equally. It's not too hard and it's not too soft, so quite a nice consistency on the cream. Okay, next up, fresh spoon. Then we take the apricots, which has a really nice consistency now. And whatever you have left over, you can just serve on the side. And then we come to our wafer. We're just gonna break it into nice pieces. It doesn't matter if it's uneven. This is something really fun. And then we take a couple of pieces. And we're just gonna stick them on the side. Okay, so this is our yogurt cream, sticky apricots and Filo wafer. Okay, look at this, Chaya. I made this for you.
Thank you. Oh, cardamom.
Yogurt cream, sticky apricots and a Filo wafer.
Ooh, look at this syrup. Let me try. Oh, this is so nice. I thought it would be heavy, but it's not.
No, it's quite nice and light.
I'm gonna finish this entire bowl. It's so crispy, crunchy, and creamy, but not heavy. Crispy Filo. Nice. I'm gonna eat this entire thing.